Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Cast and Chill. This time, I'm going to be talking about things that I know a little about, and I'm going to try to explain them in a way that is definitely not fully accurate. So, there you go. It's Ben Explains Things Poorly today. And you can't sue me. I've put a caveat at the beginning of the episode here. I don't know what I'm talking about. First things first, though, for fishing. Our goal today is to try and knock out the last of these fish here. We've got something back at Diver's Drop. We've got these two fish, I don't know what they are, at Seal's Rest. I think we've caught every other fish at least one time. It certainly looks that way. So the only other thing available here is this unknown spot. And as far as I know... So you're salmon. What's this funny little guy? You must be the striped bass. And then the chum salmon. Alright, we're still looking for the other fish. Maybe they're further out. Let's go see. I gotta focus on the fishing for a second before I get into the discussions of things I know nothing about. Just to give you a taste of some things I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the rise and fall of the Mongolian Empire, laser discs, and the game Kingdom Hearts. So there's more. Those aren't the only ones. Alright, I caught a fish. I don't even know what you are. Right into the boat? A Dolly Varden. Is that what the giant fish was down there? Spinner bait? Okay. Is that what we're doing? No, we got a spoon bait. That thing bit on something it doesn't care about. So big spinner bait, and we've got to change to our horizon caster here. So we can haul in the giant fish down below. So yeah. There's other things that I'm going to be trying to explain. Some things I'll spend a decent amount of time talking about. Other ones, I probably won't. You have to be interested in this. This is your bait. It says we could jig and or retrieve, I think. Aha! I knew it. All right, so why don't we get the explanation started here? The simplest one, I think, that's most straightforward, is laser discs. Those of you who are younger, you have to at least be a millennial to know what a laser disc is, unless you're like aware of older technology. Nice trophy weight catch of the Dolly Varden. Good job, me. So unless you're aware of older technology, I guarantee you anybody who is Gen Z or younger has no idea what I'm talking about. We've made it to the buoy. A laser disc is a form of video media popularized like in the late 80s, I think, into the early 90s. And come on, fish. There we go. And what it is, as far as I know, is a giant... It's a disc, obviously, based on the laser. But imagine a CD, if you've ever seen a CD. That's an old statement. But they're big. As far as I can remember, I think they're like the size of like a... It might be a little bigger than like a vinyl record. And you had to buy this like way too expensive, complicated disc player that you hooked up to your TV, and you played. It essentially was like a DVD, but before DVDs were a thing. And that's a laser disc. So a capelin is a bobberfish. Okay, so let's switch back to our little guppy, and then we'll switch to maybe the deep bobber. I had friends that had their parents owned the laser discs. Like, we were all far too young to own something like that. I had friends that owned laser discs, And as far as I know, I never saw anybody actually use the dang thing. They only ever owned like 3 laser discs. Nice. 1 ounce fish. Definitely not worth pursuing. What the hell is this thing? It's got to be like a deep water fish, right? We're going with the horizon caster, and let's just the deep crankbait. Something that sounds like deep crankbait has to go low, right? It has to. What is our rod that has the longest line? 84 feet? All right, it's definitely the horizon caster then. Let's send this into the depths. There it goes. And we've hit the bottom of the ocean. We're cranking it back in. Maybe there's like a chasm partway through. There you go, laser discs. The next thing I'm going to explain is cricket. The sport cricket, not the creature. I'm assuming you all know what a cricket is. Cricket the sport, however. Interesting sport. Oh, look at that bass. You see that huge guy? Oh, we've seen it. He's enormous. Tell me, aha. Oh? What are you interested in? The blade bait. Okay. Let's haul this back in. So cricket the sport. I have played a small amount of cricket. The heavy blade bait. Cricket is kind of like baseball in the fact that there is a man or a woman who throws a ball, and there is another person who swings a bat-like object to try and hit the ball. That, as far as I know, is where the similarities, and you're on a field, where the similarities between cricket and baseball end. So cricket, I think there's 18 fielders. This could very well be wrong, so don't get mad if you're a big cricketer. There's a lot of dudes on the field. I think there's 18 of them. You play in a big circle or oval. I can't remember which. And at the very center of the circle is like a stretch of length. I don't remember how long, like 30 feet, imagine. At one end of this length is a man who you call the bowler. He's got the ball that he is going to throw. And when he throws it, the object of it is to hit the wickets behind the batter. If you hit the wickets behind the batter, I think the batter is out. Or you get points. Or both. The batter's job is to stop that from happening and also hit the ball as far as he can. If the batter hits the ball with his stick, you got a cricket bat. It's kind of flat compared to an American baseball bat. If he hits the stick or the ball with the stick, the ball goes flying. The fielders will try to catch it. I think if you do catch it on the fly, you're out. Like in baseball. The Greenland halibut. Okay. Are we in Greenland? Are we in like Nova Scotia? That would kind of make sense. Where's the giant one? Is that the big one? I thought there was a huge one. So anyway, you hit the ball, you start, and then once the batter has hit the ball, and if he's not caught out, he starts running back and forth with another batter. You have like a team of 2 batters, and you run back and forth to try and score points. But you can also get out. Kind of like in baseball, if you're caught like between running back and forth, I think they can hit the wickets with the ball or smack them if you have the ball in your hand, and then you're out. And for some reason, cricket matches can last forever. It's kind of like baseball in that there's not really a set time limit, but for some reason, cricket can last days. I think I saw a statistic once upon a time that when like Pakistan was playing a game against maybe like England or New Zealand or somebody, they played a game for like 8 days straight, and like members of the audience had like, there were like health emergencies because people wouldn't leave. It's serious. People take their cricket serious in Pakistan and India, in England and New Zealand, and then I think maybe South Africa, although I might be mixing that up with rugby. All of my knowledge of cricket comes from having taken a class in college, and the teacher at the time, we thought he was going to teach us cricket, right? Like you'd think he'd teach you the general rules before like letting you play, right? He gave us like a 10-minute spiel about like the idea of cricket and why people love it. And then he taught us how to bowl and how to bat, and then he was just like, have at it. And that was the entire semester. So that's, you can't yell at me. You have to yell at my education for teaching me the wrong stuff about cricket. Let's try to get that giant striped bass. Got 2 big halibut. Wasn't a trophy size though. I feel like I saw a bigger one, but apparently not. This must be a different kind of halibut at the diver's drop. So let's see. You like the crankbait? Let's swap to the biggest crankbait we have. Deep. And then see if we can't haul in that big striped bass. I bet that guy's worth a lot. Where are you at? Is the little fish? Excuse me. The bass have vacated the land. I don't know where the bass went. Are you over here? There's some bass. I don't see the big one though. The big one was definitely like, there he is. Come on, old man. Old man. Yes. Oh, he's a feisty fish. He's taken off into the next county. All right. While we're fighting this giant fish, I'm going to talk about my next topic. So one of my friends, good friend, is a big fan of Star Wars. I don't mind Star Wars. I'm a big nerd. So I can't really say I don't like Star Wars. It's a good time. It's just definitely not my favorite sci-fi media. And honestly, like as far as sci-fi goes, other than the lasers and stuff and being in space, it's kind of more of a fantasy, which is not a bad thing. I love fantasy as well. Lord of the Rings, some of my favorite books and movies of all time. But now that I've got that out of the way, I've been tasked with explaining the difference between Jedi and Sith. To start with, the Jedi have lightsabers of all colors, and the Sith only have red lightsabers. Now, I've seen popular media. Apparently, the reason the Sith have red lightsabers is because they do something called bleeding, which means they pour all of their negative emotions into their lightsaber, and it turns them red. Why do they do this? I don't know. As best I can tell, it's just to tell each other apart. Because if you were Jedi and the other people were Sith, and you didn't have distinct colored lightsabers, how would you know? You might kill each other. It'd be like, identify yourself. And they'd be like, I'm a blue saber user. And they're like, well, shit, I'm a green saber user. We'll duel to the death. And then they, oh, damn, I got excited about talking about about Jedi and I let the big one go. Can I lure him back? All right, I got a different big striped bass. Not the big one, but a big one. So anyway, that's the most superfluous difference between the two. Extraneously, the philosophy between the two. Both of them use something called the Force, which as far as I can tell is just space magic. Get in the boat. Haha. Big fish. Not the biggest fish. We know where he is. So the Sith are evil. The Jedi are good. In the grand scheme of things. The Jedi like to be like kind of hands off. Well, they kind of changed their mind about that. But something that I've always thought was weird about the Sith is this, apparently there can only be two. There's the master and then the apprentice. If the master has I guess maybe they never have multiple apprentices now that I think about it. In my head though, I was like, what if they had multiple apprentices and then they have to kill each other? It's like, well, new apprentice time. Let's see if you kill the current apprentice. Maybe, yeah, honestly, that is very Sith to think about. It's very bad, very evil, very rude, honestly. What about your poor first student? He didn't ask for this. Maybe he did ask for this. I don't know. So yeah, Jedi good, Sith are evil. The Jedi are always claiming that they're for balance, which is kind of interesting. But then they are always trying to, like, get rid of the Sith, too. Wouldn't you try to coexist with the Sith? You devil. This fish is feisty. I shouldn't have picked the Jedi versus Sith topic to talk about while I was fighting with a giant fish. Where'd he go? I think he left. All right. Well, let's head back, and then let's try to find that other halibut at the other deep sea place. Yeah, Star Wars is interesting. I like some Star Wars stuff. I'm okay with the original trilogy. The next three, the first three in the series, were okay too. The other three kind of went off the rails. Like, there were some cool moments in it, but the story was not very great. I haven't really seen any of the TV shows. I did like The Mandalorian. That I have seen that one. $5. Holy cow. 651. We don't have enough for the big boat yet, which is kind of wild. But let's go back to Diver's Drop, and then let's go see if we can't find the other halibut. I'm trying to remember. Was it the crankbait the halibut liked? Here, let's pause real quick. Flip the boat around. Check the halibut. What do you like? The blade bait. That's right. Spoon drop. Heavy blade bait. Jig or retrieve. So you can do either. You can do anything you want. Except letting it sit still. Down it goes. Into the ocean bottom. I don't see a halibut. Let's go further out. We haven't left much of shore behind. Oh, there's a big... Are you like a fishing trawler? You see that other boat out there? Hiya! Show me the halibut. We do it for the halibut. Aha! I see him. New species. What are you into? Also the blade bait. The Pacific halibut. I've had halibut. Halibut tastes pretty good. It's definitely an ugly fish. Isn't its eyes on one side of its body? Is that true? Look how slow this guy is. I'm gonna lure him all the way to the boat. Come with me. Yeah. All right, never mind. He's stronger than I thought. Come back to the boat, please. Nope. He thought about it for half a second. Reeling him in. All right, my next topic then, while we're working on this fish. Hopefully I don't lose concentration and let him go. But my next topic is quite the doozy for me because I have never played this game and I only have like passing knowledge of what's going on in it, which is why I thought it would be funny for me to try and explain it. So the game Kingdom Hearts, it is a JRPG adventure game. You play as a character named Sora, who's just, as far as I know, a kid with giant shoes. He finds something called the Keyblade, or maybe is searching for something called the Keyblade. And in doing so, he also meets a bunch of Disney characters. Now this is where things get really squiffy, and they might already have gone off the rails. I have no idea what the point of the Keyblade is. I assume to open some door or open a door. That just went right into the mouth of the halibut. I wasn't even trying. So open a door or maybe cut through the door because it is also a sword. I have no idea why Disney characters are involved. That's the thing with JRPGs. They can just be weird for weird's sake. And they don't really need a purpose. But it could also be like, maybe it's in his dreams. Or something. So yeah, I have zero idea what the goal of Kingdom Hearts is. I'm sure there's a villain. And they're trying to save somebody or another. Right into the boat. Thank you, Pacific Halibut. Honestly, let's just keep catching the halibut. If they're gonna be taking the bait like that, we might as well. And then I can buy the big final boat. It's like $5,000. I also need to unlock the final location, but Rusty hasn't told me about that. And the last time, maybe what we need to do is we need to go find that giant walleye. Remember he told us like Evie Jean caught a huge walleye? And then if we caught a huge walleye, he'd put it up on the wall for us. Maybe that's the goal we should be working on right now. I'll try to catch this last halibut. Hey, that was not too bad. That was a much smaller halibut than the other ones we've caught. We'll take these guys back. We'll see. I would be surprised if we got 1,000 for 3 fish. Because it's pretty rare that the fish cost over 300 gold. 300 coins. And that last one was only 20 pounds, so that's a fairly small fish. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Very little knowledge. That's the best I can tell you. We've made it. Oh, we were actually averaging above 300 for a sec there. Nothing to tell me. All right, let's go see if we can't catch that walleye then. So where are the walleye? Not there. Nope. Ah, at the very beginning of the game, maybe? Let's make sure there's no other... I don't think... Walleye is not... Walleye is like a freshwater fish, so it wouldn't be out in the ocean. All right, let's see if we can't catch ourselves a walleye. Best walleye. Looks like that. It loves the spoon bait. And it could be as big as an XL. So if that's the case... Oh, I don't want to change my boat color. I like that boat color. There we go. Get away from the dock, and then let's mess around with our bait here. Spoon bait? Spoon bait. Small, heavy, huge. All right, huge it is, and then we'll use the horizon caster. We might have to change the time of day, too. based on if there's other... The giant walleye might not show up. Those look like normal walleye. So let's take a nap. This time of day, so maybe we go here. All right. Time has passed. Let's see if the walleye has shown up. All right, so I told you this at the very beginning. Clearly, I have to follow through. So the rise and fall of the Mongolian Empire. So the Mongols, I'm sure many people have heard of Genghis Khan. He was a warlord who was able to unite the various factions of Mongolia and convince them, rather than fighting each other, they should go attack their neighbors. And so he did this. And they attacked China. I think they went as far as India. And I think the thing that was the most successful, the reason he was able to attack and continue raiding and making his empire bigger and bigger and bigger, is he kept winning battles. And what he would do is, instead of like, and this is how most empires function actually, is he would subjugate the people and be like, I can kill all of you, or you could let me in and you'll give me some soldiers and tribute and whatnot, and I'll let you live. And then they like became part of the empire. And anybody who refused, he like ransacked the village and killed everybody. So it was kind of like a terrorism war almost, where he like these people didn't know what else to do. And the armies got so strong, and he was a very good tactician as well, that people just couldn't resist him, so they just kind of ended up joining. Oh, I see a big walleye down there. I don't know if he's the walleye. I'm gonna try to get his attention. Aha! So anyway, Genghis Khan was able to forge this massive empire. The walleye just jumped into my boat. It's the legendary catch. Land a big enough walleye to get on the wall in Rusty's tackle shop. That fish wanted to be caught. That took about 10 seconds. That's hilarious. So anyway, Genghis Khan traveled as far as Western Europe. He did die. I believe his son was able to keep the empire going, keep it from falling apart entirely. Let's see what Rusty has to say about the fish. Well, I'll be. You went and did it. That fish on the wall, over 20 pounds of pure muscle, a real beauty. Folks been stopping by just to see it. Even Evie G swore she's coming back swinging. You've earned your bragging rights. Name's on the board, trophy's yours, and there's a new legend over the counter. Just don't let it go to your head. Walleye have a way of humbling folks. Well, that's fun. How do I unlock this other part of the lake then? I have no idea. All right. I wonder if these guys are not that part. Maybe we need to buy the final boat. Give me that coastal rambler. Already more fish storage, and it's already faster than our previous boat. So that's pretty sick. Let's switch out to the coastal rambler here. See what kind of cool colors it's got. I kind of like the green boat here. All right, we're zooming. Well, yeah, anyway, I think his son was able to keep the Mongolian Empire going, and then once his son died, then everything went to hell. The factions all started fighting with each other. You know how empires fall apart and all. It's kind of like, I had a thought about the Roman Empire, where it was like, the Roman Empire succeeded because or in part succeeded because of their vast road network. But then also I was like, if they built all the roads and the roads all lead to Rome, didn't all the barbarians just have to follow the roads to get to Rome? Which is clearly a oversimplification, but it does make me laugh to think about. All right, let's go. Let's see, Rusty. Do you have anything else to tell me? There is like that question mark on the lake is gonna eat a hole in my soul, but maybe that's all there is to it. We've unlocked all there is to unlock. We could keep unlocking, you know, parts of the boats. Get more fancy bells and whistles here. But I'm pretty sure we've caught at least every fish. You can tell because of the marks. The slash means you've caught one, and X means you've caught maybe the biggest size, but you haven't caught the trophy weight. Yeah, so like the striped bass here, there's an XXL, which we did see. Which would mean that's the biggest one. Whereas like Dolly Varden, we've caught the biggest one and the trophy weight. Chum salmon, we've only caught a large one, but we haven't caught the biggest size, and obviously we haven't caught the trophy weight. So X means largest size, trophy in the corner means you caught a trophy weight, and then the trophy with the little stand means you caught the legendary fish of that variety. So we've caught a fish of every kind. We've unlocked everything there is to unlock, and then I don't know how to unlock this other location on the lake. Oops. Oh, we're back. Oh, Rusty heard me talking. Appreciate it, bud. Catching lake trout's a little piece of heaven. Calm water, crisp air, and that sudden tug sets your heart racing. Only downside, them blasted common carp stirring up the muck, spooking the trout, rooting around like hogs in the cabbage patch. Do old Rusty a solid and clear out a few at Fisherman's Rest when you get a minute. Aha! Are you full of carp? Is that all that's here? Ooh, is an egret or a heron? Let's go to sunrise. It's a little hard to see things in the dark in this game. All right. Beautiful bird. Wonder what the carp like to eat. like the wiggle worm? Is that you think that's accurate? All right, flip the boat around. Show me the carp. New species. Another new species. Okay, there's way more than just the carp here. What is it? Aha! Arctic char? The common carp, sure. The golden eye likes the fluoro. And then we've already caught the trophy version of whatever this fish is. Are you a walleye? No, you're not. Okay. I don't know what you are. And these are mysterious. That looks like a flying fish to me. Sort by... Oh, that's kind of fun. You can sort by different varietals. Goldeneye. So that's a spinnerbait. Common carp is crankbait. You're the blade bait. Okay. Let's try to catch a couple of these guys. Spinnerbait. Big spinnerbait? Those fish did not look big, though, is the thing. So you're the fat, slow guy there is the carp. You guys are the ones that are after the spinnerbait, but you're a much smaller fish. So let's swap you out for this guy and go for the phantom line here. Much shorter cast. Is that right? Do we have this small fish's attention? We sure do. He's tiny though. Right into the boat. So we've caught a golden eye. Let's try to catch a carp with our crankbait. Just go for the big crankbait, I suppose. I don't know if those carp count as big or not. Let it float down a little bit. Aha! Come to me! New species was discovered? Aha! Oh, there he is! Alright, whatever that golden fish is loves to be at the bottom of the lake. Oh, you guys are mad! Although it might be the rod that I'm using. Might be difficult to haul these guys in. I also might have just been cranking on the wheel the whole time. I wonder how many carp. Oh man. Line strength and length to handle bigger fish. Maybe the rod I'm using is not. It is a 10-pound rod. That's probably not the right tool to use. Yeah, I think we should be using the timberjack for the carp. All right, the last thing I wanna try and explain here is the philosophy of Ayn Rand. So when I was a younger lad, I entered an essay contest to write an essay about the fountainhead. So Ayn Rand is a writer. I believe she came from the Soviet Union and was a big critic of socialism and communism because she grew up under the communist rule in Russia and the Soviet Union. So you like the blade bait. Okay. Large, medium. And, you know, being not a super wealthy child, and in fact not wealthy at all, I was trying to get as many scholarships as possible. So I entered this essay contest to write an essay about the philosophy of Ayn Rand. And in so doing, I had to read The Fountainhead and write, like, my opinions on it. I am a fierce critic of Ayn Rand's. I do not agree with her philosophy on life and capitalism in general, but she is a big proponent of, like, unfettered capitalism is the way that the world should work. And I think it's quite... This is not Ben actually explains poorly. This is something Ben knows a whole lot about and has thought deeply about. That unfettered capitalism is the way for, like, true art and expression and the best way for humanity forward. I think there is a middle ground that does need to exist because unfettered capitalism leads to those who have controlling a lot, and without any kind of control, you can stomp all over the people that you know helped get you where you are. The thing that really turned me off from The Fountainhead, though, is the main character is, like, the biggest asshole in like any book or media I've ever read. He sexually assaults somebody at one point. And they're like, you're just supposed to believe that people love him because he's good at in The Fountainhead being an architect, and he doesn't win awards because he's just above, like, the petty concerns of, like, the normal people. Like, they can't possibly understand his art, and but because of that, like, people, like, women are just like like they can't control themselves around him. He, like, steals a man's like fiance or wife at some point, and you're just supposed to believe, like, this is just how a normal human functions. It's, like, absolutely insane. I'm going for these guys down here. Oh, and you know what? I think it was these little guys. that like, yeah. So they're the ones with the drop shot. So yeah, I do not like the Fountainhead, and the reason I wanted to talk about it was because I thought it was funny to think about. When I wrote the essay, I was very critical of Ayn Rand's writings and philosophy, and in hindsight, probably not the best way to win an essay contest sponsored by the Ayn Rand Foundation. But in the back of my head, I was like, you know, maybe they'll appreciate. Oh, you also like the drop shot. Okay. Maybe they'll appreciate a different take on Ayn Rand's philosophy. As far as I know, I was not in contention because there was actually multiple rounds. So when you wrote this essay, they also had you could also write an essay about Atlas Shrugged if you were a more advanced student. I think I wrote this as like either a sophomore or a junior in high school. But if you were a senior or junior, I think you could write about Atlas Shrugged. Which is an even crazier take on capitalism because it's about how like there's like without oligarchs essentially the world wouldn't function. It's a crazy it's a crazy philosophy. All right, I think we've done a great job. We caught all of the fish there are to catch. There are these 3 mystery fish out there. And maybe we jump. Last time when we moved, Rusty did give us tips. I guess I don't know. Well, we'll probably leave it there. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Cast and Chill series and me talking about just like random stuff that popped into my head. And I had a good time with it. It's definitely a different type of series than I've done in the past. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's a couple other videos that are going to be coming out. This will be the last Cast and Chill, so you know, mourn it as you will. But I've had a great time with it. Yeah, there's going to be a couple videos coming out, and then there's going to be a new series. I don't want to spoil what it is just yet, but there's something releasing kind of relatively around the time this is going to be wrapping up. So we're gonna be launching a new series, so keep an eye out for that. If you guys enjoyed the video in the series, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see what's up next, or you want to see the other stuff that I'm doing on the channel right now, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!